Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Tuesday, the 18th of March. Now, in case you missed it, I did a post talking about this rally and talking about the good technical setup there is for a rally here. So have a look at that if you haven't seen it already, and let's go. So, not sure I've done the disclaimer. I'll do it again. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn to transfer trend charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, on my post this morning, I was talking about the fact that the only index we hadn't seen break up from an inverted head and shoulders was Dow. And I was saying that we might be forming a right shoulder. Now, there's a couple of possible necklines here. This is one of them. The other one would imply a slightly lower right shoulder. So we'll see which one I go with is going to mainly depend on how far down it goes. But actually, this would be an acceptable right shoulder already, and this could break up. Obviously, with the target, I think at about the 43,750 area, and that is the remaining one. The other three already have setups which have already formed and have, I think, broken up on. I'm not sure about RTYs, but we've got a double bottom that is broken up here. We've got a target back at 5860 to 5900 on NQ. On ES. On NQ, this I think is probably a double bottom as well. It did look like a bear flag channel, but obviously it is broken up. Either way, whether it is a double bottom or not, of course, double bear flags that break up also have targets to the upside, and they're pretty much the same as the double bottom target. So I'm going to treat it as that. This would have a target in about the 20,600 area. Looking at RTY, nice looking double bottom, hasn't broken up yet. I think it might have broken up slightly on the RTH chart. We'll have a look at that when we get to it. But when this breaks up, this will have a target in about the 2175 to 2190 area. And YM, as I said, we may well be forming an inverted head shoulder, right shoulder here. I'm really liking the upside here, and I was talking about that yesterday. I'll chat about it briefly again today. But we DAX, we've got an IHS that's already made target and is basically back up retesting the highs. Obviously, the Europeans were far, far stronger than the Americans on this one, mainly, I think, because of currency shifts. And I've read a theory it's due to a lot of capital leaving the US and ending up in Europe, possibly so. If so, it's been happening for months. So I think actually FTSE is still up about 10% from December. This is up very considerably from then as well. So ESDX, we've got an IHS which is broken up. That's got a target in the 5550 area, and that is well on the way to the target. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Okay, SPX. On the daily chart, I'm very much wondering about a test of the daily middle band, and I've got that in the 5840 area. I haven't marked obviously the double top's a bit too small on this. I am thinking we're probably going to make this target afterwards. I'm thinking we're going to form a flag here, and I would like to see a nice bear flag form to give us a nice signal for when it's likely to turn down again. Looking at the SPX chart. On the weekly chart, what I pointed out with these yellow lines here, we saw a punch below the weekly 3SD lower band last week, and that is unusual. So if something's unusual, I tend to look back on it. I only looked back about 8 years here, but 7 years actually. It's but there's a pretty strong. I mean, this was a significant low at a touch of the daily low band. Here we had a punch, and this was my exception here because we went down another 11%. But this was in the 2020 crash. Are we in a crash here? Possibly, but I don't think it's as fast as the COVID one, if it is a crash. It tends to be that nothing will go up or down in a straight line. Looking at this one here, this was the other punch below, and that led to like a 3-week rally, 10% rise. We had another one here, a couple of weeks rally. Here we had a significant low, and here we had a major low. So generally speaking, when this happens, you tend to get at least a couple of week rally, or you tend to get a significant low. I'm leaning towards the rally option here, and we do have a window. The next T-day, as it were, tariff day, is April the 2nd. Whole load of tariffs are being implemented then, but we actually have a 2-week window until that time. and of course the hope, I suspect misplaced, but the hope that that will get cancelled or seriously modified on the way. So this is a good time to see a rally, and we've got a lot. We've got a daily buy signal which fixed on Friday on SPX. Looking at we've got a little double bottom which is broken up with a target in the 57.60 to 57.80 area. It's nice. Looking at the Qs, we already had a buy signal and that reconfirmed on the low there. Still plenty of mileage left in there. Obviously, if we get some really awful news, we could just go back and retest the lows or make lower lows. But as I said, it's a nice setup for a rally. Qs, we've got a double bottom which is broken up with a target in the 405 area. Dia, we actually had a buy signal fix there, but it failed on the daily chart. So we don't have a buy signal on the daily chart here now. But we've got a decent looking IHS forming. Only one really likely shoulder here, which is the one I've now got marked in on YM. Ideally, it goes down a little more, but it's actually done that overnight. So if we open up around here, we could just break up directly from there or go down a bit more and then break up. But this is a nice looking IHS now, and this is the only one that didn't have a decent reversal pattern. Looking at IWM, we've got a buy signal here. Again, it fixed on Friday. And in terms of the short-term pattern setup, we've got a double bottom here, which is broken up with a target in the 209 to 211 area, broadly speaking. So these are all nice patterns. We've got nice daily buy signals, and we've got a strong signal from the weekly 3SD lower band that we should be looking for a rally here. And so far, we're getting it. So I'm quite liking more upside on here. This rally should last at least a week, 10 days, ideally a couple of weeks. But I think, given that we've got this window into April 2nd, I'm just thinking it lasts 10 to 14 days from now. So we will see how that goes. All right, looking at DAX. DAX is back retesting the highs now, so this wasn't head and shoulders, but it could be a double top potentially. But I'm leaning towards it going at least a bit higher. Although really, I think I don't know what's been happening in European markets the last few months. They're a lot higher than I would expect now, or indeed than I think they should be. I'm expecting to see some downside action on this in the not too distant future. Nikkei, we had a possible RSI 5 buy signal brewing, and we've actually got a weak RSI 14 buy signal. We had one brewing, and both are now fixed. I'm leaning towards the upside. We're pretty close to a test of the daily middle band at 37,793, and I think we will see that soon. All right, let's have a look at DX. Now, DX, I think, may be forming a double bottom here. I've got some support on that from the currency pairs. Got a possible double bottom on Euro here. I've got a possible little double bottom on GBP, but I've also got, which is interesting, on nothing on USJPY, but we've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed on the Canadian dollar. Little double bottom here, so I'm interested to see where that goes. But obviously, this is a buy signal for something which is on this view would go up with the dollar. Not alone. We've actually got a sell signal fixed on NZUSD, but I am wondering. So we could see a double bottom here and deliver a slightly larger rally. This feels very heavy though. And I think this would just be a counter trend rally before it went down again. On ZB, this is still a very nice bull flag. It would be even nicer if we'd actually touch this resistance here, but it's still very nice. I'm still leaning towards it seeing a retest of this high. I am wondering about a test of this rising support in about the 115.22 area. On CL, we've got a nice looking double bottom, and that is now broken up with a target in the 71.40 area. Is it going to make it? Maybe. I'm watching the declining resistance, which is in the 70 area. It's not showing a great deal of enthusiasm so far, but there is a buy signal, I think, on CL on the daily chart, so we will see. NG, I think this is likely a bullish consolidation for a heads up higher towards the target in the big double bottom target in the 5.75 to 6.25 area, and this is now starting to look like a pretty decent double bottom, although ideally it would go a little lower. If this is going to be a double bottom. GC is continuing higher, looking damn good. We had a nice looking double top set up here, and that is fading rapidly. We've got a 60-minute sell signal that's fixed, and I'm wondering if that's going to fail today. We've got a sell signal fixed on SI. I've been mulling over whether this is close enough to be a possible near miss, and I think it probably is. We've got a possible nested double top here, but again, if this goes higher, that will fade away quickly. HG, it's already faded. The double top setup is already fading away there. We've got a possible 60-minute sell signal fixed. I'm wondering about a retest of the all-time high at about the 5.2 area. And I think we may well be onto that. That could be the second high of a larger double top, because HD does tend to be rather sensitive to economic activity, and all the signs are that America is heading into recession. Not because of Trump, actually. There's a fair amount of evidence that it was actually kind of going into recession before Trump took power. But obviously, it's probably going to be a deeper recession because of tariffs and trade uncertainty and so on. All right, let's have a look at the others. KC, I'm still wondering about bull flag forming. Possible move down to 355. SB has gone back up and retested this high. This could be the second high of a double top, or it could continue higher. There is a case for it going a bit lower to set up a really nice pattern on the bigger picture. CC, nice looking double bottom here, and it could deliver. On ZW, this looks like a bear flag forming on corn. This could be a bull flag forming, but we could be heading back into a retest of this low. On soy, we've got okay looking double bottom, but it could be a triangle. This second low is higher. Ideally, it would go down and fix that and make a lower low if this is a double bottom. CT, we had a sell signal that's made target, didn't actually do much damage to the downside, and looks as though it is converting the monthly pivot into support. So that could set up higher. Do we have any decent patterns here? We don't. Lumber, still wondering about a possible retest this high to set up the second high of double top. Bigger picture, probably leaning short. Lean hogs, live cattle, we've been heading up, and we're very close to a retest of this high, and I'm leaning towards it getting there and probably going higher. On lean hogs, still struggling at the monthly pivot, but looking as though it might be able to convert it to support. That would open the path higher, which I think is probably the obvious way to go at this stage. All right, great. Let's have a look at questions. No questions at the moment, so I'm just going to do a quick review of ES, and if you've got any questions, put them in now. Okay, I really like this rally. It's good. I mean, it's purely on a technical basis, really, and also on a time basis, because we have this window into the imposition of larger amounts of tariffs on April the 2nd. I think that will depress the market. I think the market likely has further down to go, and I think there's a pretty good chance that the US is heading into recession, and may well have already been heading into recession without Trump adding in more recession fuel with tariffs. So I'm thinking that is not likely to be good for the market. We're likely to see lower. We haven't made any of them the topping pattern targets, apart from the smaller double top on SPX that I posted a month ago. So I think we've got lower down to get there. We've got a good case for a rally here. What I'm going to be watching for is bear flags forming. Decent looking patterns. I'm hoping we might get one of those to signal the next big short entry. So I'll be watching out for that. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. I will catch you guys tomorrow.